Southgate leaving England. Who will be the next England manager? The coach states that it's time for a change in a published statement. The defeat to Spain in Berlin marked the end of his tenure as the national team manager. So, there it is, another painful near victory for the England team. Spain are the European champions, and deservedly so, while England once again reflect on what could have been. Much of the talk before the Euro 2024 final revolved around the victory that was written in the stars for the English team, who arrived in Berlin riding a wave of incredible luck. 2 brilliant last-minute goals, a penalty shootout, and one of the worst VAR decisions of all time kept alive the hopes of an entire nation to end 58 years of pain, while the mundane level of football played was pushed to the background. But England's luck ran out at the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. They couldn't secure the victory that mattered most, as Spain delivered a masterclass in fluidity and ruthlessness. "I'm devastated for everyone," Gareth Southgate told ITV Sport after the 2-1 defeat. "We just fell a little short." This phrase succinctly encapsulates Southgate's entire 8-year tenure. The coach deserves much credit for transforming England into title contenders, but he is not the right man to take the final step. After an emotional roller coaster month in Germany, it became clear that a change was necessary, and Southgate is doing the right thing by stepping down while his dignity remains intact. No one could complain about Spain's winning goal when it finally came, with Oyarzabal coming off the bench and expertly finishing a cross from Marc Cucurella into the net, after yet another mistake by Kyle Walker. Unlike 3 years ago against Italy at Wembley, this defeat wasn't decided by details. England were simply outclassed by a much better team. This is not to say that Spain has more talent at their disposal. Harry Kane, Phil Foden, and Jude Bellingham were undoubtedly the best players in the Bundesliga, Premier League, and La Liga, respectively, last season. Southgate could also count on Arsenal winger Bukayo Saka and the new free-kick specialist Declan Rice, with Palmer, Watkins, Ivan Toney, and Anthony Gordon waiting among the substitutes. Spain does not have this kind of offensive depth, nor do any of the other teams that competed in the tournament. But England failed to leverage their advantage. Those players did not perform as they usually do week after week at their clubs, and Southgate has to take a fair share of the blame for that. The coach's cautious mentality reflects on the team, and his lack of tactical knowledge creates confusion. England had no clear patterns of play, and instead relied on individual moments to reach their second consecutive Euro final. Euro 2024 will be marked as another great missed opportunity. Southgate has the second-best win percentage of all England managers since Sir Alf Ramsey, and is the only one to have reached 2 major finals, but once again benefited from a favorable draw in Germany. Spain defeated teams like Italy, Croatia, Germany, and France on their way to the grand final in Berlin, while England got past Serbia, Slovakia, and one of the worst Dutch teams in recent history. When they finally faced a top-tier team, they were easily dominated. The story repeated itself in the 2018 and 2022 World Cups, where Croatia and France, respectively, outclassed England in the later stages. In the Euro 2020 final, at least they matched Italy in terms of quality, but the mental superiority of the Azzurri made the difference. Fans will not accept another tournament like this. England's campaign was more agonizing than enjoyable. Some of the criticism Southgate faced in the last month was unacceptable, but it would have worsened if he had clung to his position. According to The Telegraph, the FA wanted Southgate to stay on beyond the end of his contract, which expired in December. He was a perfect spokesperson, a well-mannered and conservative coach who rarely expressed his frustrations or internal concerns publicly. They could also point to his impeccable record against any criticism and the lack of suitable English candidates ready to replace him. Graham Potter emerges as one of the leading candidates, but it's hard to imagine fans welcoming the former Chelsea manager with open arms, given how poor his first experience at the top level was. Eddie Howe would have been first in line a year ago, but his stock has fallen considerably after a disappointing campaign with Newcastle, while current England sub-21 manager Lee Carsley lacks experience as a head coach. However, there are many options on the list of foreign coaches at the moment, including 2 Premier League legends. Jürgen Klopp is available after ending his 9-year spell with Liverpool, while Pep Guardiola is in the final year of his contract with Manchester City. It seems that England needs someone of this caliber to reach the next level. Southgate provided many great moments for England fans, but progress was no longer happening. Familiarity breeds contempt, and the national team environment could become toxic again if he didn't make the right choice. It's time for a new face to take charge.